You stand before the full-length mirror, gently adjusting the bridesmaid corsage on your chest, your fingertips trembling uncontrollably. The hem of your pink dress spreads out at your feet, like petals scattered by the wind. You suddenly remember the first bouquet he gave you when you were 17, a few pink roses tucked among wild daisies, the wrapping paper clumsily folded, one corner forever asymmetrical. "Does it look good?" you whisper to the empty dressing room, as if the next second, he would, as he had done countless times before, lean lazily against the doorframe, smiling and saying, "It looks good." The music from the banquet hall drifts in from behind the walls, low, gentle, and distant. Today is the wedding of your mutual friend. From kindergarten to university, the three of you have hardly ever been apart. Now, one of you is getting married, while your relationship with him remains at a safe distance, repeatedly tested by time but never crossed. A knock sounds at the door. You turn and see him standing in the doorway. His black suit is impeccably tailored, the shoulders sharp and defined. His tie was slightly askew, the one you gave him last year. "Need any help?" You walked over and casually straightened his tie. The gesture was so familiar that your fingers remembered the weight and warmth of the fabric. As he looked down, his breath brushed against your forehead, carrying a faint minty scent. Nervous? You looked up, meeting his gaze. There was light in it, restrained yet complex, a little. You released your hand, but the warmth of his neck still lingered on your fingertips. "It feels like we're getting married." The words were barely out of your mouth when you regretted them. You joked like this many times before, but over the years, every time it was brought up again, the air would silently thin. His Adam's apple bobbed slightly, and he looked away. "The MC said we'd be entering in 5 minutes." You stood side by side at the side entrance of the banquet hall. Sunlight streamed through the stained glass, falling on his profile. You suddenly remembered middle school, when you two sat side by side reading in a corner of the library, his eyelashes almost translucent in the light. "Do you remember the first time we met?" You asked. He turned to look at you, his smile gentle yet restrained. You were wearing a red dress, stuck on the slide, crying. But you were the one who was too scared to go down first. You gently nudged him with your elbow, but the instant your touch touched the fabric of his suit, your heart tightened. It was such a familiar gesture, but today, every touch felt like an electric shock. The entrance music began. He bent his arm, and as you took it, you clearly felt his muscles tense slightly. The lights shone brightly, and applause erupted. But all you could hear was the rapid, erratic beating of your own heart. The wedding was beautiful. When the bride tossed her bouquet, she almost smiled as she threw it towards you. You caught it instinctively, and good-natured cheers immediately rose from all around. The MC walked up to you, microphone in hand. "Looks like the next bridesmaid is coming up. Who do you think it will be?" Your gaze swept across the crowd and landed on him. He sat at the head table, his wine glass hovering in midair, staring intently at you. At that moment, you finally knew. The longing and fear in his eyes were exactly the same as yours. Your voice caught in your throat. The bride intervened, changing the subject. But all night afterward, you clearly felt that something was irreparable. Every glance you exchanged was like a silent crack. After the banquet, he drove you home. The night wind was cold. You walked along the familiar streets, your shadows sometimes overlapping, sometimes separated.